Happy almost New Year, Michelle.
Happy almost New Year, Josh.
2023 is coming to a close. Any notes for you from your year?
It felt to me like the last few months just suddenly went whoosh by. And I remember hearing you talk sometime recently about, in one of your messages, about that might mean you're not as present. And so I've been really caught up in that thought about, am I being present? Am I doing what Josh said? Am I not being present to things? Because the whole year just kind of was in flow and ease. And then boom, November and December have just like flown by, and I'm suddenly going, oh my gosh, what happened?
It does move fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have been wrong. My line was something like, it's not time that whooshed by, it's you
Yeah,
that rammed through it all.
That's exactly what you said.
And that happens. But it is a full time, and you did have a very special birthday.
I did. It was a significant birthday of one of those ones with a 0 on it, and then it has a 6 before the 0. And so I like celebrating my birthday most years, but I don't do it real big. And those big ones that come and the decade birthdays, I just feel like demand a little milestone. So I did celebrate in a big way. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Happy birthday to you.
Mm-hmm.
And New Year's is coming up. It's always a fun day at the church for me. I get to do an intention setting workshop. And I like taking that, mythical energy of, starting the new year right. There's so many unhealthy things that we can do at the new year to, affirm our self-rejection and set impossible goals for ourselves that fall apart weeks in. But it's also a time, I think, especially in our philosophy, in this spirit of co-creating with an infinite mind, to really regain a sense of control in a good way of our lives, that what I'm thinking and what I'm doing and the habits that I'm building are co-creating how I live and even some of what happens to me. And do you have any New Year's rituals that you like to do in terms of your own spiritual practice of setting forth intentions for the year?
I have been kind of in and out of how I've done that. And the last few years, I've really focused more on the qualities or the values that are important to me, that I want to live my life through in every area of my life. I used to focus a lot on the world of effects and changing this and changing that and shifting this and shifting that. And using our teaching, I could do that. But I realized that years ago, I kind of stopped using our teaching for the princes, palaces, and parking lots kind of thing, and that how I'm living is more important to me than the actual unfolding of circumstance. And so I really stop each year and ask myself if the qualities with which I'm living my life are still the qualities that I want to live my life with, and reaffirm those and invite myself into, are there ways that I could expand them? Like my spiritual connection is always at the top of my list. Am I connecting with spirit? That sort of thing. And so that's how I tend to practice.
I love that. And so are the qualities kind of fixed from year to year, or do they evolve or change?
They evolve and change. I think that one is probably the most standard one, but then there are other ones that I notice often by reflecting on the years past. Where did I not show up how I wanted to show up? And that contrast helps me say, okay, I wasn't the best listener to the people in my life this last year, possibly. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't present. And that's why the last few months whooshed by, or whatever it might be. And so some of that contrast helps me say, okay, I think maybe this quality would be a really good one for me to lean into this year, because I'm seeing that pattern. I'm looking for patterns of thought and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
Activity. Yeah.
Not to pry, but do you see one emerging for 2024 for you?
Yeah, I do think presence is one that I think is showing up in a lot of my relationships. Like just noticing maybe I'm not as present as I would like to be. I'm not really hearing people as clearly as I'd like to hear them, like hearing below the surface. I've always prided myself on being a good listener, but it really feels like I've maybe lost the edge of that this past year in a lot of different places, in a lot of different ways. And so I've been really focusing on what would it be like to get back to that, or evolve that even into a deeper place than I've ever been before. Being really more present with everybody that I'm with, just being right here, right now.
That sounds really powerful. I like that. I often say, the skill that sometimes we think we have the best is also the one that we need to work on the most. And listening is mine. I pride myself on listening, but just like you were saying, I can think of so many instances and moments this past year where I could have listened better. And so, cheers. Cheers
We're both
to you.
listening slackers this year, I guess. So can you tell us a little bit about your workshop? It's very popular on the 1st of January. Without giving everything away, people can come in person, they can come online. But what are some of the key takeaways that people will get? Because I think this is a really good way to start the year, is to go to a workshop like this and be with a bunch of people who are also in that same framework of beingness. So what will people get by coming?
Yeah, I've done it almost 10 years. I started doing it in my past community, and I would like to say it was inspired by God, but it was really inspired by the desire not to drink too much the night before and have a healthy day. Well, why not start your day, your new year in a healthy way? And so I can stay up till 12. Usually the workshop's at 10, and it's in person at Mile High or online. And it always evolves too, just like we do. But it's really is always taking that spirit of co-creating with a divine mind, what we want in our lives. And so we usually focus on a few central areas. So this year it will be success, relationships, and well-being. Sometimes we throw in fun there. And we just kind of do a meditation where we just set some intentions for each one. And then if people want to go even deeper, let's say it's spiritual connection, they can step into what does doing that look like on a monthly basis or on a daily basis, of saving my marriage. What does that look like? And developing those plans for those intentions. And for me, a good intention is always a guide. It's never a clear outline. And, to share, this may come up in the workshop, but something that was really cool that I got into doing this year, right at the beginning of the year, was I'm calling them creative affirmations, and so picking 3 or 4 creative affirmations that I can say every day or once a week, and they're cool because they're guides, and you can picture each day different ways that they show up, and so they may be kind of broad. So one of mine was, I'm stepping into the next dynamic phase of my ministry, or another one was, I'm experiencing inspiring abundance. There were 2 more. I'll just get them out right now. I am participating in meaningful relationships, and I am healthy and well. And saying those every day, at first you go, well, okay, that feels good. And then each day you have to say, well, what does that look like? Or if I was feeling healthy and well, it was like, I'm accomplishing something. Or inspiring abundance, like, what does that mean to open up to abundance in a new way today? And so that's one suggestion I would have for everyone listening today, whether you come to the workshop or not, is think of a few of those creative affirmations to wherein you know what you want, but you also allow that divine mind to creep in. Never forget that heaven has something in mind for you. I'm sure that's a great old metaphysical quote there, to open up to what might appear. And, one of the funnest things about the intention setting is if you keep those intentions somewhere, you can check in on them once a quarter or at the end of the year and kind of see how you did. But the other thing I would say is, there is such a shadow side to New Year's.
Absolutely.
And it's always so important that we set our intentions, in my mind, from a place of completion and not of self-rejection and emptiness. Because if we set those intentions from wanting to be whole, no matter what happens, we're going to lead ourselves to our wholeness. But if we set them from a place of brokenness, it doesn't matter what we accomplish, we're going to lead right back there. And I always remember Alice talking to the Cheshire Cat and says, how do I get out of this? Where am I going? How do I go? And he says, well, don't worry, just pick any way. It will get you there.
Right.
And it's the idea that if you know where you really want to go, it doesn't matter what path you take. The adventure of spirit will get you there. But if you don't know what you want, the truth is any path will get you right back to what you don't want as well.
Very powerful. Very powerful. It sounds like it's going to be fun. How long does the workshop last usually?
It is about an hour and 15 minutes. And then for people that want to go deeper, because I always want that, we'll have workshops by some of our practitioners. So Kelly Berry is doing one on journaling. Steve Jansen is doing one here about yin yang and the creative process. And then Lorelei Massey, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, Lorelei, is doing one on Zoom, which is going to be really cool too. And so, it's just a few hours of your day. But But what a great way to start your year by saying, I'm going to take a couple hours and actually pay attention to my life.
Yeah.
It will not totally stop that whooshing sound, but it will slow it down a bit.
Right. On the very first day of the brand new year.
Yes.
I think that is just genius. That's great.
Well,
Thank you for doing that for us.
Yeah, and we're doing Back to Basics together. You and I,
Yes, we are.
The rights of spiritual thriving. Is that it?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes, thank you. Yeah,
So
we're so focused on holidays right now. I've got Christmas on my brain, right?
Yeah, well, we'll do that. What song from Candlelight is stuck in your head most?
Give This Christmas Away wakes me up almost every morning.
Oh, yes.
And I think it's not only the words of Give This Christmas Away, but it's the energy of it, the energy of being of service to people and seeing people and loving people and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
And, by the time this airs, people will have already experienced the Candlelight service. So you can answer that too. So have yourself have yourself a merry little Christmas is the one that sticks with me. Well,
oh, yeah, that's a good one too. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Happy New Year, Michelle. Happy New Year to everyone else here. Take good care of yourselves, and we hope to be an important part of your life in 2024.
Definitely.